Hello, this is Sandy Create the Heart, and I'm here with my very last video of my ocean and sea and beach themed projects. How to make beach and sea themed backgrounds. And so this one is what I'm considering a bonus video. One of which is I had forgotten to make this card on camera with you guys. This is using different stencils. Stencils were, I think, in the very first beginning part of my little series. I don't know why I'm calling it a mini series because it's actually a humongous series and a lot of videos. I just did not know when to stop because it was just so much fun. And so this one is using stencils from La Land Crafts. And so what I did was I did the sun stencil and then I did the waves stencil, just inked them up. And then I went back and used some, stickles. Just some stickles, and so it gave a little bit of a fun look there. And then this is from the Greeting Farm. So I did a video, and I think I don't know if it was a stencil video or one of the paper videos. I don't know which one it was. Maybe it was the stamp set video of my series where I did the girl. This is the boy. And this is Greeting Farm. I think it was last month's release. I had to have it. So cute. So super easy card. And just super easy. So that one is done. Now this card is already made, but I did want to share another way to make kind of a look. So this is using the paper pad from Pink and Main that I shared in my previous video. But what I did with this one is I used the die set, but I also used the embossing folders. This lines embossing folder, it's called Light Rays. And so I think it's really great for anything where you want like sun to kind of shining through. But anyway, if you can see, it's a very subtle embossing look on the paper. And then I used all the rest of the little bits from the coral reef dies from Pink and Main. And then I actually used the paper that came in the Courtyard subscription box, which is where everything came from. So if you, it was last month's Courtyard kit, I think it was $39.95. It's a really good deal. I don't know if it's still that much. But I did a video, I think I did a video sharing it was in that box, but you do get paper, including one of them is this, I don't know what you call this, just shiny paper, was in there as well. And you get the embossing folder, you get a stamp set with sentiments. I'm trying to think what else is in there. You get some sequins, you get some gems. It's a pretty good kit. I pretty much have used every little bit of it. So this is kind of another fun way of getting that look. Not only did I use the paper, but that embossing folder gives a really subtle look. Oh, it comes with a stencil, which I did not use, ironically. So I don't know why I didn't use a stencil, but it will definitely show up in another video. But I have to move on because I can make these forever. So now I'm going to use something fun. This is a die called The Wave, and it's by A Pocketful of Happiness. She has a website, but you also can buy A Pocketful of Happiness from scrapbook.com, and I think Simon Says Stamp. I think it's a Dutch, is it German? It is a European company. I'm not exactly sure, but this is what it does. They're mostly dies and very unique product line, but I'm going to show you how to put it together and what I made using this die. I've had this die in my stash for a while. First time I've used it. I'm also using this Summer Fun stamp and die from CC Designs, which I'm a huge fan of CC Designs. So it is a super easy die to put together. So what I did was I used a blue piece of paper. I inked the top of it because the bottom isn't really going to show, and then I threw some white splatter on it. And then I used, the stamp set to stamp the sentiment up here. And it just is super easy. So I'm going to kind of decide what I'm going to do here. Do I want to go ahead and kind of have an idea of where I'm going to put this piece? Is going to go like right there. So I'm going to go ahead and put this one down, and this will help guide me into where to put the rest of this down. So I used some glitter cardstock from the Stamp Market, which I had in my stash from I think a Pink Fresh Studio virtual retreat. And so that's what I used for the waves, like the foam, the ocean foam. But the actual waves, I'm using that shiny cardstock from Pink and Maine that came in my kit. And this is just super easy. I mean, it's helpful to use paper that's not too thick. Like this is really, really lovely glitter cardstock. It cuts with dies very, very nicely. Some of them are just too thick and don't cut really well. This one does a pretty good job. Just because this is pretty intricate, it's not crazy intricate, but it's intricate enough that it could cause you problems. So just kind of keep that in mind if you do get this die. I forgot that I had it, and then I was searching for something else, and it popped up, and I said, oh, I got to use this die because I got it for a reason. And it really is beautiful and super, super easy to use and very unique. Press that down. Isn't that beautiful? Just like that, it's just gorgeous. So you could do dark paper and do something that looks more like a moon. So you could like waves at night even. But there you go. Super easy. I did not put this on a card front because apparently I forgot to grab one. Let me grab one. I like to have my cards done. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and glue this down. I think this card is so cute. So, super, super cute. And there's that one. So, I also used some foil products from Tailored Expressions. So Tailored Expressions has some wave-oriented foil products, and so I went ahead and I heat foiled these 2 panels. So my next 2 cards are going to be using foiling. So for this card, I'm using the Gus and Gertie Right On. It's like this little paper boat because it was super easy to make. So all I did was foil this in some of this blue foil that was part of their like July 4th release. So they kind of had the red and blue foil. And I absolutely love this color of foil. I think it's just really, really pretty. And all I did was stamp my sentiment up there in the corner. And so then all you have to do is put your image just right in the front. So this one just says, you float my boat, and just makes a very simple little card. And so for this one, I did a little paper piecing for the boat. So I used the Not Too Shabby Shop Sailing Away paper pad for that. And so if you haven't seen my other videos, there are so many different ideas in there, and I use a ton of different products from different companies. And so there's bound to be a lot of ideas there that you guys can use in your card making. So this one is called Best Beach Friends. I've had this for a while and I've never used it. So it was an opportunity. This is from my favorite things, and I am using this one. So I think it comes with 4 different foilables in there. And so here's this one right here, and this one I used a teal. Now I could have backed this on some teal paper, which in hindsight I probably should have, but it's not bad because I'm using this brown or craft cardstock, so there's going to be some color to kind of help the images and everything stand out. So what I did with this is I used a splatter stamp set that I have. It's a little mini stamp set that I got actually from Concord and Ninth. And so I had sold a lot of the product from my last, I think from summer camp, but I did keep a couple of things. And one of them was that stamp set, and I have used it so much. I really like it a lot. So, and I just used like a hill or slope die, and then I've got these different images to kind of play around with. And so kind of like this. So what I did with this one is I cut the feet off so that it could be more like a floaty. I don't know how people feel about me cutting that off, but it worked for me. So it worked. That's what I did. And I will do that. And now I just put everything on foam. So this one I am calling, a bonus video because it's, except for the stenciling one that I forgot to do, it's got some more random ideas here with the foiling and the embossing folder. And I also have a couple little fish, and these were extras from one of the other projects that I did. Sometimes I just cut extras, and I just cleaned out my extras bin, so I didn't want to have too much in there. So and I'm just going to go ahead and place these little extra fishies on there, and I think that they really kind of finish the card. Okay, so here are the cards that I made with this particular last video. I mean, I will continue to make sea, ocean, beach cards. There's going to probably more this summer that are going to be a little bit more tropically themed. But this is the end of this series because I have stuff I gotta do. So I think this is really fun. So foiling is another way that you can very easily create this kind of look. Now, for these, you would need some sort of laminator or something else to use these foiling panels, I think. So I really love those. And then a very unique multi-die die set from, what do I call this company? From A Pocket Full of Happiness. I love it. I'm going to have to look again at the dies that they have because this is so stinking cute. So there's that. And then this one is using paper, but also using an embossing folder to kind of give you texture and give you that idea that we're deep under the sea. And then, of course, a card that just reminds you that sometimes stenciling is the way to go. And of course, you don't have to do any of these things. You could just use ink. You could just put ink on paper, splatter it with some white splatter, use a white gel pen, and that's it. I mean, really, you could use paper that way, in the same way, and give yourself, that kind of look without using any of these products. But if you have products like these in your stash, or you're looking to purchase things, these are just some ideas of what's out there. Thank you so much for watching. This is Cindy Praying with the Heart.